Anyway, hey guys, we want to welcome you guys. Sorry for the slight delay. I'm not sure what happened with us. Stevie, Miss J, how you guys doing this evening?
Good evening, all. For this Saturday evening, good evening. We're also joined by a picture of Janet with a boobs being held. Sorry, kids, if you watch it. Not exactly the most appropriate thing, but it is after 9 o'clock at night.
Watershed hour.
Yeah.
No, well, it's the enduring image of the
Album.
when you think of the album, and I do remember seeing the image, seeing the album cover, and yeah, yes. Anyway, we it does bring back memories for me, and so definitely looking forward to this one. Miss J, what did you've got the actual Rolling Stones covers there as well?
Yes. Yes, that's the original. My sister used to work in a record store in the 90s, one of my older sisters, and I'm a fan of Janet and Michael, so I got that, and I have never let it go. I've had it since I was younger, and it's been in a little container, and I just decided to put it up for today. I almost didn't put it up, but I'm like, I have to. And I got like the album and the singles and
got everything. Hey, Mac, how you doing? Sub-Zero, the great, welcome as well. As you guys come on in, just put down your names so we know you're in and we can give you a shout out as we go through this really interesting album. But anyway, Stevie, how have you been?
I've been all right.
Hey, Derek.
Summer's here. Hay fever, pollen's here. The weather's all over the place, as you'd expect in the UK. It is June, it's festival season, so there's lots of music festivals going on at the moment. 50 Cent is on in Manchester tonight.
Okay.
Chris Brown's on as well. He's in Manchester, freshly out of Manchester prison, where he was a few weeks ago. So, yeah, it's all going on. And I feel like I'm looking at Miss Jane, I feel like I'm on the film set of Arabian Nights.
really,
yeah, with the hat looks like something out of Arabian Nights. Very, very flashy, Miss J, very flashy. Never let us down with your headgear.
Goodness. We also have to talk about, before we get into the Janet album, Mariah Carey has that new single. What are your thoughts of it?
Type Dangerous. I love Mariah Carey. Penmanship. I love her writing ability. I'm happy she's back because Mariah tells stories and she's very funny. I love her sense of humor and I love her wordplay. I love how she tells stories. So I like it. Especially the part where she says, I'm not gonna say the bad part she said, but they don't know the meaning of water nor soap. She's hilarious. Like, love her.
And melodic welcome as well. Yes, I mean, Stevie, what were your thoughts about it?
I suppose she's reached that point now where she can do what she wants to do. I wasn't sure at first because she's attempting to rap over something that Eric B. and Rakim did back in about 1989. And if you go back and listen to that beat that she's rapping over, you're not going to get close to Rakim. But listen, she's had a go. It's a fun, upbeat track. It's something R&B needs. You can dance to it in a club if there's any clubs left to dance in. So, yeah, she sounds different, and it is a bit different. So, after a few listens, I played it a few times on my radio show. Shameless plug again. So, can't be that bad, can it? If I played it a couple of times. So,
definitely.
Let's see what else she brings on. If she's got another album in the pipeline, we shall see.
Yeah, I think it's the. I think she'll have a remix featuring Rakim, and I actually like the fact that she's doing a throwback to Rakim. So it'll be interesting. Timmy Lee, welcome. Music tips reviews with JG, welcome. Nike for real, welcome. Yeah, it should be interesting just to see if it'll be interesting just to see how the remix is. But I have to give it to Mariah for Mary for just bringing out new music. I think the fact that they're investing in it. I know in the video she doesn't move around much, and oh, you just laughed at that one, so you must have noticed it. She just kind of stands still and smiles. So I have to give it to her. I'm sure she's struggling with something with balance because she needs people. So, but as I said, I do give her props for investing in a video and doing the music and stuff. So I have anyone that's coming out with new music, be a superstar like Mariah or one of our old school artists, I just give them big ups for do that.
Have you heard of an artist called Tiffany Evans? Anybody?
No.
I think so. She was a young girl, right? She was also an actress.
She may have been, but she's got this new record out. It just come out on Friday. It is amazing. She actually put a single out a few months ago that sampled or just replayed Jodeci's Stay. She's doing an EP that's a throwback to the 90s, but this new record is just, it's one of the best of the year. It's got an R. Kelly like slow jam feel production. not
he should not be named.
But his trademark stamp production that you got in like 1990. So it's just an amazing record.
Okay. Boyd said he likes Mariah. She was good. I didn't see the BT Awards, but I will try and watch that particular ahead of that, and we'll check out Tiffany Evans. Stevie, just while we're in the show, could you put the link to your radio show so that those who so people can be able to access
I'm not
it?
sure I can write it on this. Where do I put it?
If you just copy the link and just put in the chat, then it will just
Where do I? Yeah, I can only go our chat, but where do I go on this chat?
No. If you come if you go to YouTube and just as if you're commenting on the live stream, so you can do that. Music Tips said, love Tiffany Evans, underrated. Okay, so we will check. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about Tiffany at a later date. But tonight is Miss Janet Jackson, and I must say that she had her two first albums at A&M. Then she came out with an amazing album, Control, which is still my favorite Janet album, Control. Then she kind of took it to another level with Rhythm Nation, and by this time when her contract with A&M was up, and so there was a bidding war between A&M and Capitol and Virgin. And she met with Richard Branson. They gave her $40 million to sign with them. And so this was, they went and did a 75-minute track album with Jimmy and Terry. It was a departure from, it's funny because we could say it's a departure from Rhythm Nation. But then if you think when she did songs like Let's Wait a While and Love Will Never Do Without You, she was starting to dress like she did in Rhythm Nation, in the Janet stuff. But I think the album cover and the Rolling Stones magazine sort of gave us a sense of, okay, Janet's all grown up now. And she's not her brother. She's not her older brother. She's her own woman kind of thing. Stevie, I'll start with you. What was your initial thoughts when you first got the Janet album, and did you get it when it came out in '93?
Well, it was interesting what you were saying about the actual 40 million deal that she'd signed, because I think it's a huge signing for Virgin Records. Then a huge scoop to sign her from A&M Records.
Yeah.
The only other big signing Virgin Records did, I think, in the 90s was Robbie Williams, and I think they paid about 80 million for Robbie Williams from Take That. And I think she re-signed this deal in about 1996 for another 80 million. And I think the money was well invested because she went on a good run of albums. She had a lot of hits. But this 1993 album, did I get it at the time? Yes, I did. And I was happy that even though it was 93, there was still half a dozen pretty up-tempo New Jack Swing style tracks. I thought the opening single was incredible. That's the Way Love Goes.
Yeah.
What a fantastic start to the album.
Yeah, unexpected start.
You know, and then we had the controversy of the album cover. I mean, the CD doesn't actually show what you're showing, but my double vinyl, when I open the vinyl out, it does show it, and you're seeing a very different Janet, a Janet, you know, coming of sexual age. Shall we say? Be careful what I'm saying. Don't want to upset too many people tonight, because I know people are getting upset with my behaviour on certain shows. So don't want to be, you know, don't be upsetting a few of the keyboard warriors. Do so I have to behave myself tonight. So she got a bit sexual, and why not? She's young. How old was she then, Janet? Coming into her mid-20s, maybe just over her mid-20s.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how old she was. I'm not sure how old she was, but wait, goodness, I think she was.
She was
24.
Probably like 26 or so, 26,
24.
20. I think she was about 20, maybe. Probably 24.
24. So yeah, she was. You know, it's coming in that age, and overall, I must admit, I played about half the album a lot. There's the other half that I didn't play too much. And listening back to the album now, there's a few tracks that I didn't play at the time that really jump out at me now that have stood the test of time. So it's been good to go back to this album, but I didn't feel at the time it was as strong as, say, the Rhythm Nation or the Control album. But listening back now, it is a strong album. It is very strong.
She was 27. Yep, Ezekiel and Derek. She was 27. Last exit just said she just turned 28. I quickly asked ChatGPT, but by the time I looked up, you guys had already put it in there. Okay. Ezekiel says she's a year older than me. Miss J, as a Michael fan and a Jackson ambassador, what were your thoughts when when this came out? Because you were probably,
I was young.
yeah.
But I always thought Janet was beautiful, but when this era happened, it was a different Janet. You know, like Love Will Never Do Without You. We saw the crop top in the desert with Antonio Sabato Jr. and she was gorgeous. But then this album, it was just like constantly, you know, we got the abs. After seeing those abs, I was already a rail, but I wanted Janet's body. That body was everything by this era. Janet videos, like you said, the first video that she put out, to me, I was surprised because it was kind of more mellow than I was used to. So at first I was kind of like wanting more for the video. I'm like, wait a minute now, this is too mellow sitting around. I want Janet to get up and do some choreography. I mean, she did some, but it was cute and relaxed. But this Janet era, to me, was one of her best eras visually. But the album, I loved just about every song on here. The interludes and everything that go into the next song were perfect. Like this is what I missed about the 90s albums. Like everything about this album was great to me. Yeah.
Was the was J-Lo in the video in the That's the Way Love Go? I can't remember.
Yes, she was. J-Lo was.
Okay, I thought so. Broken Love said the album was cool. I would say I do remember getting the album when it came out because at 93, I was in Alabama at this time, and it was and especially when our first video, the single came out, it was almost that song was almost what was happening with R&B at the time. We had SWV, we had sort of that type of vibe that was out there, Aaliyah back and forth. So it was in a kind of little mellow vibe, and it was one of those songs that you could relax and vibe to. I can't remember when the album came. No, when did the album come out? When was it released? Does anyone have that? I had it all up. I had it all up and release date. I had it all up, and then I had to restart my computer. So it's
May the 18th, 1993.
Yeah, so it came out in May. So that's kind of summer. It just took the song into the summer and everything like that. But so definitely it's one of the things where I thought there's some songs on this album that when it first came out, I wasn't a fan of, but since re-listening to them now, I've actually started to appreciate it a lot better now. Um, so it'll be interesting as we go through our top 10, guys. So we're going to now. There were 14 songs on the album with about 5 or 6 interludes. It was a 75-minute CD. So what it does tell you that it was like one you couldn't you couldn't burn it onto. It was quite hard to burn and make a copy because sometimes those burner discs did not go up to 75 minutes. And but I think it was almost like we've been paid a lot of money to do this album, so let's give them a lot of stuff from the album. So we're going to go from 10 to 1. And maybe when we're doing our recap, we can talk about 14 to 11. But I can imagine that between the three of us, all 14 songs might be covered. So, Stevie, do you want to start off with number
well, I'm at the top of the pile tonight.
Top of the pile.
Yeah, top of the heap, as they say, king of the. Anyway, number 10. I did a quick change of a few tracks, so I did 3 drafts of this. Not too many changes. I'd say 2 or 3 changes from my initial first draft, but I've gone with the mellowy to mid-tempo-ish Where Are You Now? It's got a good, good drum beat structure. Again, I didn't listen to this enough back then, but I'm listening to it now and I'm like, wow, why did I not listen to this enough back then? And it was initially I had it number 11, but I'll give it away. This time was at number 10, and I've quickly changed it for Where Are They Now? Because I think this time's a bit abrasive. The way it starts, very abrasive, industrial sounding. But I'd rather have this now. Where are you now?
Okay.
So track to start my top 10 off.
Okay. Timmy, a new agenda? Oh God, Lord! All right, Miss J. Miss J.
My number 10. This was hard for me. This was hard. I chose a song that she performed on SNL back then, Throb.
Oh.
I love it. And she was doing a mean butterfly. That was when that was like the new dance back then. And the butterfly I remember her doing that Throb performance, and it was just ridiculous. She was so.
Never seen that. Is it on YouTube to watch back?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
That song reminded me of what's it? CeCe Peniston. It's reminded me of one of her kind of tracks. So Throb was this kind of house dance type of track, but I'm listening to it and I felt like it sampled something from CeCe Peniston.
Keep on walking.
Keep on walking. Then I think there was some elements of it that I did pick up on that, but it was a nice vibe. But so that's Throb for you, okay? All right. My number 10 is I would call this like an elevator song. So it's like you're in the elevator and this is playing at the background, just kind of the low vibe as you're going up, just nice and chilled. And this is the body that loves you. Number 3. Yeah, so it was nice little, and it kind of fit her sort of melodic voice, which, as I said, if you can't read the lyrics, you might struggle to pick, because she doesn't enunciate as well as a lot of the 90s females who, kind of church ones who are like, you hear almost every word lick for lick. So in this, it was just the melodies just went through it, but it was just a nice little mellow track to start off with. So This Is Your Body, The Body That Loves You is number 10 for me. Yes.
I was just looking at the track Throb because it was released in 1994 as a single on June the 18th. I never played the track at the time. Really didn't. And I was listening to it before, and there isn't much of a song there. It's just more about the jam, innit? That house jam.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, number 9 was initially at number 8, and I put it back one. It's the same track you just mentioned, "The Body That Loves You."
Okay.
Yeah, it could work on smooth jazz radio quite easily.
Yeah.
I do like the track though. I do like
Yeah.
it very much.
Yeah. Wow, Brooklyn, you said
It's got
again
like
at number 10.
it's got
I
like
love
a
that song.
60s, late 60s, early 70s, like jazz kitsch feel
Yeah.
to it. Just gives it a little bit of a different edge.
Yeah,
I've
she
not
had one or
the
two
others
tracks
on this
like that.
album do get a lot more musical, I think. They do get a lot more jazzy on this album, which was interesting. She seems to do a lot of playing on this album.
So Ezekiel just said he's listening to Throb right now, and he can hear something. Love Things by CeCe Peniston. So maybe because I think if you hear a song, that's because I love that CeCe track, and so I think that's why. Yeah. Okay. So you've got that. Miss J, what's your number 9?
It's a fun song. Oops now. Oops now. Sorry, I can't go. It's such a, I don't know, lighthearted, fun. It makes me have good memories from being young and carefree. So.
Yeah. Did they come up with a video for that?
I saw. Yeah, there is one, but it's it's one of those videos where it looks like things are just thrown together, like a bunch of different things put together from like other videos.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like he was on vacation for real or something, and they put it together.
Okay. I actually had that as my number 9 as well. And that's the last track on the album, but track number 28. So, but when you listen to it, it does lift you up. It just sounds like, oh, okay, this is like, you can feel the fun and the vibe with that. It's like a Shanice, I Like Your Smile, which is a happy song without it saying be happy and smile. Right. That's so when I listen to it now, it gives me that sort of upbeats and stuff like that. He says, "Whoops now sounds like a song from a play." It reminded me of something maybe I'd watched Grease or one of those kind of musicals, and at the end, and everyone's just we've everything's all worked out, and everyone at the end, everyone's just singing. But it's a happy song, and it's amazing how they can capture that probably with the keys. So that's my number 9 as well. Okay, so we are somewhat on the same talking level here with our first couple of tracks. Get into number 8, Stevie.
What's interesting is that double CD image you're showing there. There was a special edition released last year, which I did pick up, which had some tracks that were recorded for the album that didn't actually make it. They left off, and one of them was a Jackson's cover. I think it was One More Chance, and it's a great version.
It was on this album.
Yeah, and I forgot all about that, Miss J. I forgot all about that. It's a great song.
One of my favorites. It's my favorite.
Yeah, I forgot all about. I think is it Randy singing on it?
Randy wrote it.
Oh,
yeah, Randy wrote it.
Oh, yeah. But Janet was really good. And can you believe they left? I can see why they left it off, because they run out of time with the CD. Like 79 minutes.
It was on one of the albums, though. I got the singles. So back then, it did come out on one of these. Let's see, which one?
CD,
it was a bonus track.
One of the CD singles.
On this one, on If. The If bonus track, like the Maxi
Yeah,
single.
that's the one I got as a bonus. Yeah. Interesting though. I'm looking at my CD here, and I don't know what version this is, but Whoops Now's not on it. It's not listed. I don't know whether it's a hidden track.
It says hidden track.
Right, I see.
Oh, you don't have it? Okay.
But it's not listed, but I do remember I'm sure I played it on this. But anyway, number 8, and it was the 8th single release off the album, January the 31st, 1995. It is Whoops Now. I've moved it up.
Okay.
I mean, there is in this country, there is a very big called Northern Soul movement. People go out to Northern Soul nights, and they do this particular shuffling dance, and that Motown beat that's in Whoops Now, that is Northern Soul. The thing is, Northern Soul DJs won't play Janet Jackson because it's not obscure enough. They play all these obscure, like 7-inch singles that Motown didn't didn't. Well, they kind of released it. They did like rare, like a couple of
Rare grooves.
yeah, a bit like that. And then they didn't promote the singles. And these Northern Soul DJs back in like the 70s picked it up and played them. But what's now? I think it's a great little record, pop record.
Yeah. Really up. Yeah.
She does that. She does that like happy vibe very, very well. You know, that's Janet all over that.
Yeah, Matthew said, "Whoops, now sounds like Grease." As I said, you get that type of vibe of at the end of Grease where everyone's happy. Tone low tone Capone, welcome. Okay, Brooklyn says, "Whoops, now at number 8." So I think we're all around the same way it is.
I think we're going to go haywire from here, though, Nanda.
I think so.
Okay, Max saying that's the way love goes at number 8. Melodic has Funky Big Band at number 8.
And anyway, Nanda,
what do I do?
Come on, we can't all agree. I've got to get a bit of bad behaviour in tonight.
Bad behaviour. Okay. Just say, what's your number 8?
It is That's the Way Love Goes.
What? Oh, we started already.
What are you talking about, Willis?
Talking about Willis.
Yeah, I think because it's a single and it plays so much and it still plays so much on the radio now. Here, it still plays a lot. I like the song. It's just I hear it a lot. So
I think you'll have to sacrifice your Arabian Nights hat for that. You'll have to sacrifice that hat.
Okay, that's the way love goes.
That's
okay,
the way love goes at number 8. Oh my deary!
Wow.
There's people in the comments that agree with me. Yes.
You only had Mac who's probably a little bit overjoyed tonight. I don't know what he's doing with that. Well, that's the way love goes, no way. But anyway,
Me and Mac agree. Thank you.
Wow. That's a bad yellow card.
So my number 8, not too far away from Broken Love, is again, and it's I think this it's I think there's a video. I thought there was. I think there's Janet sang this thing, with just a piano and stuff. And so she showcased it. Look, man, I can really sing. So, even though I do a lot of up-tempo stuff, so I give it to her. It's one of her not as exciting ballads, but I do recognize that it was a good track. So I had again at number 8. If I listen to it too much, I can get a little bored. But if I listen to it just a few times, I can.
What again? Is that sorry?
Yeah, again. Yeah.
Oh dear, I'm getting the sleeping bag out for that. Sleeping bag record, mate.
Yeah. As I said, it's one of those tracks where you can get if it's played too much, but when you hear it, you say, okay, yeah. But that's number 8.
What have you left out to include that? I'm stunned.
I think the only track that probably could have beaten it for me would have been Throb. I think that was the only track that I just thought, it was a hard one. He says it's too girly for me.
I think it's probably a Miss J anthem that she's probably got waiting for that one.
And never again, do again, do. Hold me. Was it very smart? They use again for poetic justice. Maybe that's why. Maybe okay. And she had her run with that. Yeah. All right. So back up to you. Hey, Dio. All right, Stevie.
Very smart. She was in poetic justice, wasn't she?
Yeah. It was good that she put. I mean, because she couldn't release any news. I don't think she's trying to promote the album. So, she's trying to show Virgin, hey, man, we sold 10 million here. So we've pretty much recouped most of the money from the deal at the beginning. And so, yeah. Go ahead.
Music tips and reviews with JG says, we'll give Miss J a break on That's the Way Love Goes. Yeah, she's not been here for a month. We've missed her. Yeah, we have missed her for a month, haven't we? So yeah, we'll give her a pass.
Give her a break. Oh goodness, Stevie, what's your number 7?
It was one of the singles again. Which number singles? Right. This was released on July the 13th, 1993, and it was "If" at number 7. That frantically paced New Jack sounding "If," which got a big chorus. I struggled to understand what she was saying on the verses, but
I told you about most of her songs. You just have to harmonize with it. Okay, Ed Max said it was in a movie, but not on the soundtrack. Okay. Timmy Lee says you want this at number 7, and What I'll Do at number Brooklyn. Yeah. Okay.
People mentioned What I'll Do. Actually, that's that like.
What I do, damn. It's like a 60s kind of.
It's got a bluesy, rocky, rock and roll. Yeah. Interesting.
There were elements of it that I really admired, but I was comparing the song with Sheryl Crow. All I want to do is spend, and I'm thinking it just that I just saw it just didn't have the flow with the types of songs, or What If God Was One of Us, when those, or Alanis Morissette. So they were, and I was like listening to it and thinking, it wasn't on that par with those type of singers at that point in time. So that's why I put it down a little bit. What I Do reminds me of Sheryl Crow. Yeah, I was listening to it. I'm thinking, all I want to do is spend some time with Sheryl Crow, and it just wasn't as good as it's there. Okay.
Sheryl Crow. Why would you mention that one? Oh boy.
She needs the lyrics to understand.
Background singers.
So what? Sorry, Misty. What's your number 7?
My number 7 is If, but I understood.
Like Stevie. Stevie just said If for 7. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
I agree. I understood what she was saying though.
If I was
well, go on then, sing the verse for me. Sing the first verse.
No, man, no, sir.
Can't remember. You can't remember, that's why.
No, she was talking back. She was talking like, sensual in that song. So I had a bad excited over you. 100. No, I'm not singing that song. No.
Hold on. Have we got the lyrics here? Let me just have a look at the lyrics of If.
Call out my name
on the album.
Matthew says subtitled.
For you, are you crazy? Yeah, we know what you're saying.
You need subtitles for the music video.
Try to find the lyrics here, but what number was it?
Are you looking for what number on the album?
If it was number 6.
Right, hold on. Number 6. No, that's not the lyrics.
If I mean, talking about if she was your girl, the things she would do to you.
Yeah, I knew the chorus. Right, that's Throb.
Why are you talking about okay, sure. I don't give a damn if. Yeah, okay. Dreaming of you in my fantasies. Yeah, I know what you mean. I see why you say you don't understand her, but I think my ears are trained to be like I'm a Jackson whisperer. So
Here we go. Sitting over here, staring in your face with lust in my eyes. Sure don't give a damn, and you don't know. I don't remember these lyrics.
I never know this video. You don't need a lies to run free. How many nights I made my
how did you get lust in my eyes and when the track's going at 100 miles an hour? That doesn't make any sense at all, that.
So the part that we probably do here is when she goes to how many nights in a wait. So that part was say no, and I had no idea what she's saying. I mean,
wait a minute. Hold on. Y'all don't hear Janet and understand what she's saying, but y'all can understand what T-Boz is saying when she sings. Because to me, I feel like it was that kind of voice at that for that part.
She sings a lot slower, doesn't she?
Yeah, you can hear T-Boz. She you can hear it because she's not fast. Janet's like how many nights? So you can get that second part, and then if. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, these lyrics are quite. Whoa, they're almost like they're almost like soft porn. This song. How many nights I've laid in bed excited over you. Wow. I need to memorize some of these lyrics. They might work on somebody. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right, Stevie. Okay. So number 7. So where are we at now? 7.
Number 7. I just did 7.
You just did your 7. Okay. I had a track number 4 on the album, which is You Want This.
You want this. Da, da, da.
Yeah, I thought, yeah. I yes. Yeah, so that was that. I can't, right now, Stevie has just sang it and I can't remember the track.
This, and I played that on my radio show today. That's why I know. I was thinking.
Okay. Yeah. Let me try and listen to it quickly. Oh yeah. So it reminded me of no, that one. There was a part that it has like keep on. It almost has like it. This part had a part where it almost samples CC's keep on moving. Keep on walking, and but it also reminds me of some of her tracks from Rhythm Nation. When I say, because when I listen to Rhythm Nation, there are a couple of the tracks that seem to have the same kind of drum and melody and stuff. So it was a bridge to Rhythm Nation, early in the morning, and I like the little when Jimmy's playing on the keys and the piano and stuff like that. So it was a nice track. So that's my number 7. You Want
Great
This.
Song. It's a great song.
Yes. All right. We are going. Oh, Stevie, I don't remember those lyrics. Okay. We've got Marco. Okay. Come on, Stevie. Number 6 for you.
Number 6 is she actually lets. There's a bit where she just lets the production just go and the music go, and it is very jazzy, it's very funky. Funky big band is at number 6 for me.
Okay, I didn't realize. I didn't think you were going to put that
on this.
Did you like it?
Oh, fantastic track! Yeah, fantastic track, and it goes on for about 6 minutes as well.
Yeah,
and it's a real treat for 1993 to be that up tempo and that just great. I mean, you just wouldn't have associated Janet doing a track called Funky Big Band, but
yeah,
it's amazing. It made it well onto this album.
You know what this album reminds me of? Carlos Santana when he did his. Oh, guys, can you remember his album that he had Smooth and Maria?
Oh yeah, around the late 90s.
Yeah, I can't remember the title. The title escapes me, but what he did on that album was almost like, well, let me have a song for each market. So Maria was for the R&B market. I'm going to do Smooth for the pop, the Kiss 100, and then he did a kind of a rock track, and he did a lot. So, and then he was able to just dominate in those areas. And I think there were elements of this album where we've talked about house music with Throb. We've talked about sort of the sort of new jack pop rock with If. I think she had, what was the least with this time, the kind of rock stuff. Oh, Supernatural. Thanks, Timmy. So I think then she had the whole jazz stuff. So I think they were trying to just say, look, man, let's try and get as many stations to appreciate the album. So yeah, Santana Supernatural. Yeah. Okay. So Stevie got Funky Big Bang. Beautiful track. Miss J, what did you get for number 6?
I love this song, and you guys might have already said it. Because of Love.
Does it not sound like Because of You? So not Because of You. You want
this?
Yeah.
A little
not
bit.
the sounds like, but the kind of
same vibe in a way.
In the vibe, that sort of.
I love both of those songs, actually.
Okay. Okay. Because of Love, that's your number 6.
Did you get the single to that track, Miss J?
Because of Love?
Yeah.
I don't think I have the single for that one.
Oh, I need to. I've got a few. I need to send you one of them because the
You
remix.
have a couple of them?
Some, yeah, probably have somewhere, but you need to hear the remixes. The remixes there's some incredible mixes on it.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I gotta look that up now.
Yes, that was a big play for me back then.
Oh wow.
Brooklyn's Love says, "Where you now reminds me of He Doesn't Know I'm Alive from Control." Did you guys get that vibe at all?
No.
Arena.
I thought about
where are you now? Oh no, I like no. He doesn't know that him. Oh no. That one. That was my jam.
Your singing's not getting much better, is it, Andy? It's not Andrew Knight, is it? It's not Andrew Knight. You know.
He's making up for it.
If you've not seen the last episode with Andrew Knight singing the dive track, he nails it. Absolutely nails it. You can call me crazy.
Yeah. No, you get the B version today. But my number 6 is very similar to Miss J, Because of Love. Because of Love. Another happy up tempo kind of track and stuff like that. Yes, and as I said, it's another track that takes me back to Ribbon Nation when she had Escapade and all that type of stuff, or when she had, what was that one? The one that she I can see the video where she's almost flying across the world when she did this Design of the Decade.
That's Runaway Love.
So there was a sort of a feel to it. They're the same type of happy, let's celebrate. Runaway Love, and they're Because of Love. Yeah. So number 6 for me. I think my top 5 is a lot more of my favorite tracks. So number 6 for me. All right.
We have the same number 6, you and I.
We've got the same number 6. It's strange that actually we've almost tied the three of us in at least one track or within a space of each other. So it seems like we have very similar vibes. I think when we get to the top 5, I think life would change because we've got 10 songs between 5 positions, and I think we'll start to separate from here. But Stevie, let's see what's number 5 for you.
Number 5 is You Want This.
What?
Yes, in my top 5 easily. In fact, it was number 6, but I moved it up one place to number 5. Again, it's very New Jack Swingish for me. Very big track. So I wish it was higher than number 5, actually.
I love that song.
Yeah. I wish it was higher, but it's a top 5 track easily. It's one of the top 5 tracks on this album. Easy.
Did y'all try to learn the choreography though? Did y'all get to learn the choreography?
The choreography, well.
So Timmy Lee, Because of Love. Where are you now? And Because of Love. Okay, number 5.
It's the same as his. You want this? This is the maxi single for her. She's so gorgeous. Oh, yeah, I love this song so much. And then MC Light, tell him, Jay. I was like, I need to use that for me. Like, I need to take that audio clip out. And MC Light was one of my favorites. And
does she have MC Light rapping on it?
Yes, and the not on the album version, but in the remixes, yes, and in the video. And it was, she had that common thing of like a desert for some reason. Like, it was kind of like The Love Will Never Do Without You kind of desert for the dance part. But who else was in that video? J-Lo wasn't in it, but Kenny, Babyface Edmonds' wife, was actually in that video. Well,
Tracy.
No, not Tracy, the second wife. She was a Janet Jackson dancer.
No, Tracy was the second wife.
Oh, okay, the third wife. I forgot. Babyface had 3 wives. I'm sorry.
Oh no, maybe Tracy was the first, then the second.
No, Tracy was the first publicly. He was married before Tracy. I'm a Babyface lover too, so there was a wife before he got famous that we knew. She was never been seen by us, and then there was Tracy was the second wife, and the third wife was, I can't remember her name, but she looked just like Tracy, and she danced with Janet. She was on this tour.
Okay.
In this video.
Okay. I have to tell you that the most beautiful person I'd ever, when I saw Tracy, I thought she was like, it was, yes, because I used to work at the office, and amazing. Okay, so you guys have the same number 5. Now, my number 5, I must admit, when I listened to it at first, it just didn't seem to fit the album. It felt serious. It felt like, okay, this is something I need to pay attention to. And actually, I think if I ever questioned whether Janet was a songwriter, I think listening to this track, I could see her writing her lyrics a lot more than any other song. Well, maybe yes, the love songs, but I really heard Janet writing her lyrics in this, and it's New Agenda featuring Chuck D of Public Enemy, and Chuck has such his voice with so much authority, almost like, look, man, we're taking this down. So it felt as if Janet had to come like, oh, Chuck's going to be on this. I need to write. And she talked about herself and being persecuted. And I was like, oh, okay, man, you're taking this seriously. And there's something about this track that I remember from '93, really embracing it then and listening to it again last week when we were preparing for this show, and say, yep, it brings out that same vibe for me and stuff like that. For those of you who are in the UK, when London hosted the Olympics in 2012, they also hosted the Paralympics, and the theme song for the Paralympics was Public Enemy, Harder Than They Fall. And it's such it was played throughout the whole Paralympics, and the Olympics was massive here, and so it's really been in an enduring sound and song. And so when I'm listening to Chuck, I think that whole vibe of 2012 comes to mind, and just seeing his lyrics, and I think probably that's probably what kicks me to like this song and put it in my top 5. So, New Agenda, Janet Jackson, Chuck D, Public Enemy at number 5.
Good song. Good
Yes.
positive message.
Yes, big positive message. Yes, Stevie.
Number 4 is probably the best slow jam on the album. I do prefer the R. Kelly remix, but
what?
But Anytime, Any Place is in my top 5s at number 4.
Okay.
I think we all know that track very, very well. It's a very late night, quiet storm type slow jam. It still sounds great today.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, I also remember the video as well. Okay.
Anytime.
Yeah, the R. Kelly's remix was.
No, please don't.
Okay. Okay, Nicole was Babyface's wife. Okay, goodness.
That's right.
Nicole. Oh, did they call her name in That's the Way Love Goes video?
That was Namdi's Chipmunk 2025 remix.
That song, he just made that up himself. Just
So what is your number 4, Miss J?
My number 4, you guys already mentioned it. This song was released on my father's birthday, October 12th, 1993. Again, and it gives us I like this song. I think when I'm listening to it all over again, that she's out of my life moment makes me think of Michael, and I feel like no matter what Janet can do, she can't run from Michael. Like, she's just his female twin. So you know how she's out of my life when her voice cracks in this song like that, and I love it. So number 4 again.
I knew that'd be high up on your list. Yeah,
How do you know?
No, I get to know you more. I just know your taste now.
You gotta get it. No, I'm just seeing Ezekiel thinking that look, I've got the vocals tonight. You know, it's we've got a Janet album. We're going to be vibing and singing. Number 4 for me, Stevie already mentioned it, and I love this funky big band. It's one of it. You know it. And I was gonna say it. The one thing it reminds me of is I was gonna say again. No, it was All Right, the album version, which was 6.5 minutes, and it was the reason why I loved that track was that it was like, man, it was so funky. They just let the track run, and I think this one, it was almost like, Flight Time Studios, the music, they were just there jamming and vibing. Jared, come and, we're vibing. Do you want to come in and jam with us? And it just felt like they joined in, and she just sang a few things. And I do wonder, sometimes it's almost like, would I've loved Janet to explore like this? I think that's one thing I have to appreciate Madonna, because I got to a stage where Madonna says, well, let me try in different directions and see, if I can be successful that way. And I think Janet, I wish she didn't play it too safe. This album, she did experiment around a lot of things. And maybe that's why Velvet Rope, she experimented a lot more and went, a lot more. But Funky Big Band, number 4 for me. All right, we're going down. So goodness, Comb Kid had Throb at number 3. That's quite high up.
Fair play.
Yes, Brooklyn Love had If at number 3. So Stevie, what's your number 3?
I'm just trying to remember as well some of the tracks. There was more tracks that were left off the album, put on CD singles. And
are you serious?
There was a track, I think it was called On and On. It had like a Slice and the Family Stone sample running through it. It's either On and On or one other. There was a CD single that had 2 bonus tracks that I've got. One was On and On, and some was it. It's like an old school title to it. Can't remember I need to find my CD singles. Go for the CD singles boxes. You must have them there, Miss J.
I don't have all the ones you have, but 70s Love Groove is one of them.
That was it.
I
That's
love
the
that.
one.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, again, they left that off the album.
That was amazing.
I remember actually Trevor Nelson played it on his Radio 1 Soul R&B show when the album came out, and he played that as I remember him playing it. Trevor Nelson, it just sounded great on the radio. I've not played these tracks for so long. But they're all on that special edition CD that come out last year. I mean, you need to get that. It's got everything on it. It has got everything on it.
Yeah, Love Groove. You can play. I played that over and over again, like a repeat hours. So good. Oh my god. Yeah.
I would say that even this album, I hadn't listened to it since the 90s. I hadn't listened to the album since the 90s when it first came out.
She recorded a ton of tracks for this album. She must have recorded about 40 tracks. If she's been paid like she got a 40 million advance, she must have buried herself in that studio that year and just did loads of tracks for this album. It's a lot of money to get paid for, isn't it? Anyway, number 3.
And a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Number 3 is a track. I didn't play this much at the time, and I'm kicking myself because it sounds great now. It has stood the test of time, and I thought this has got to be high up. Is that New Agenda track? I didn't play much of that.
Okay.
It's just what a track. How did I not play this much at the time? I don't know why.
Yeah. I mean, did it feel like she could deliver the message alongside Chuck D?
It worked. It did work. I mean, funny enough, Chuck D's got a new album. He's back. He's got a brand new album out on Def Jam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so hip hop heads, do check that out. And Slick Rick. Slick Rick's come back with a new album this weekend as well.
What? Wow.
It's signed to Nazi's Mass Appeal label and some good tracks on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, New Agenda number 3 for me.
Okay. Miss J, what's your number 3?
Well, you guys have already said it, but it's one of her to me, this song is like one of those regret songs that come back to me wishing that she was still with you. Where are you now? Where are you now? I love this song. You know, I love my slow songs. Janet got a lot of sexy slow songs, but number 3, where I wish these other songs that she left off the album, I wanted to put them in the top 3, but I couldn't because they were bonus tracks. But,
Yeah, it is interesting when you listen to the bonus tracks and the tracks they left out,
mm-hmm.
and then you think they could have done better on the album. There's a video I saw of Michael Jackson and his engineer Bruce Swedien picking the songs for the Dangerous album, and they were like, okay, so we're gonna put in Blood on the Dance Floor and what's that slow jam that Teddy did that put your hands on me, someone hands
hand out, someone hand out. Oh
yeah, that was supposed to be on the Dangerous album. They were like, yeah, we'll put that in there, and then when the album came out, they removed those 2 tracks, and I'm like, but so they were planning. It was like, yeah, we're going to put them in order. We're going to put all those tracks, and when the album came out, they changed their mind and took them off. And I'm thinking those songs would have done a lot different. So it's amazing. I don't know what goes through their minds at that time, but anyway, number 3 for me was a song that I would say that if this was 93, 94, it was I would not have had it in my top 10. But listening to it now, strange enough, even though I didn't understand one word she was singing, it was If. If is number 3. I'm shocked myself because at the time I was like, down. I just hated. I'm not a big rock person and all that. But listening to it now, I'm like, it's just like
the chorus is strong, Namdi.
Yeah, that's probably why. I'm like, okay, number 3. I mean, that's big stuff to put up that high up, and I had to give respect for it. I just thought that but it did remind me of the production they did for Michael Jackson's History. It you know, listening to If, it took me like Scream and dun 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 dun. It's almost like when they would work with Jam and Lewis worked with Michael on History, they kind of recreated some of that tracks and vibe with him, that kind of heavy, you know, drums and stuff like that, which I didn't think it worked for Mike. I thought he needed something a lot more. He was a lot more mellow. That's why I can't. His songs are this escaping me. Anyway, at number 3, If. Surprising, but I actually like it. Yeah, I put your hand up. Yeah.
Choice. It's a good choice, that number. It is a good. Even though I did number 7, it's still a good track.
It's a good track.
It is a top 5 track. You can't get them all in your top 5 though.
Yeah.
7 doesn't go into 5, unfortunately.
Oh, wait, if you remember how you used to do it back in the day, well, I couldn't fit this in, so I'm just going to put it at number 5. These 3
I tell you what, a year. You know what'll happen a year from now. We'll be able to ask our AI assistants to do their own top 10.
Yeah.
We're reading out our AI assistants' top 10.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Let me even ask when we finish. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to rank the songs from 10 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your number 2?
My number 2, and it's more about the remixes because there was a killer New Jack mix on the remix of this track. I think it's better than the album mix, but I used to play it a lot of the time. I remember DJing with the vinyl with this, but I've just got a lot of good memories of it. It's Because of Love has made it number 2. Arguably, there's better songs on this album, but it's just a big single for me at the time. So, and the
Because
Because of love. They should have released New Agenda as a single, but anyway, Miss J, what's your number 2, please?
You already know, since you know me so well. Is it a slow song or a fast song?
Ooh, no, Miss J, come on. I
It
don't know you that
is.
well yet. I don't know you that well.
It is The Body That Loves You. Number
Hey,
2.
wow.
The elevator song.
The elevator song. It's really it puts you in a relax, like you just want to hear waterfalls and candles, and it's a good mood kind of song, you know.
Okay.
It sounds so well on smooth jazz radio at the moment. That song, it would work so well. Forgotten gem. It is a forgotten gem. That.
Okay. My number 2. I think I must admit that I did not buy Rhythm Nation when it came out. And I thought especially the first video, the whole black and white and the military stuff, I just didn't, I didn't like it. And then I grew into the album, but I never at the time owned a copy of it until Columbia House and BMG came around and I was able to get one. So the Janet album was the first album of Janet that I bought before I went back and got Control, because at 86, in 86, I was a kid, so I didn't have any money to buy albums and stuff. So the Janet album was the first album that I ever bought from Janet. And when I saw the video, the song and the vibe, I was thinking, wow, compared to Ribbon Nation, she's coming with a whole different vibe. And so from number 2 for me, That's the Way Love Goes. It just was like, is this what she's doing now? It just took me aback that she came out with this. And it worked for her. I don't think it worked for Michael Jackson when he came out with You Rock My World. I don't think it had that same effect. That type of mid-tempo jam did not have the same effect in 2001 for Michael that it did for Janet in 93. I thought this was just a vibe, and it just gave us a different taste of Janet. So That's the Way Love Goes is my number 2.
Says who? It didn't work for Michael. It worked for me. Michael worked for me.
No, that rocked my world, and even Rodney will admit it that it was that production was 2 years. It was 2 years past the sell by. He did, if that album had come out when it should have come out, it would have been different. But it came out. By the time it came out, we'd moved on.
I still love it. I got a story to tell him about that song, but I'll share that another day. Work for me.
She's got a story. She's got a story to tell us, but she'll save it for another day.
I didn't like Rhythm Nation.
Oh, no.
The first album was embarrassment. Okay. Rock My World was okay. I think Rock My World was it didn't have the oomph that Michael normally comes out with. It didn't come out with the oomph. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, and it was.
Say that to Rodney Jerkins. Have you told him that?
Yes, I told him.
By the way, that Rock My World track he did with Michael Jackson didn't have that oomph.
I will release. I told him that the track. I didn't think it should have been the first. I told him that I thought that Unbreakable should have been the first track. And he agreed that he says that Michael wanted.
Jay's getting a box.
He said the label wanted Rock My World, but I think the label Michael wanted Unbreakable as the first track, and he agreed that it was a lot more of a powerful track with Biggie rapping compared to Rock My World. So I did tell him, so I could tell the guy who wrote and produced it. I could just say that I just thought it was 2 years off. And there was it's The Boy Is Mine and all that. It had all that vibe, but Rodney has moved on. He had moved on from there. Yeah, but anyway, that's why the album didn't blow up, because the radio didn't really vibe to it. Butterflies was trying to help that album. But anyway, that's a different show. Um, um, Stevie, we're gonna go to number one, but go from your 10 to 1.
Number 10 was Where Are You Now? Number 9 is The Body That Loves You. And you know what? I'm going to play them songs a bit more after this. Number 8, Whoops Now. Number 7, If. Number 6, Funky Big Band. Number 5, You Want This. Number 4, Anytime, Any Place. Number 3, New Agenda. Number 2, Because of Love. No surprise at number 1 here. I think one of my really good memories of this track was when I used to go out in the early 90s with my friend to various clubs, bars. My friend did a lot of DJing. He'd take me with him. I was learning a DJ then. And I remember we did a wedding. It was like, it wasn't like a big white wedding type thing. It was more of an informal wedding. The crowd was more of a 90s club crowd. And my friend he played this set of 80s like stuff that, big 80s tracks. And then he let me play for half an hour. And the first track I played was this track. And people were coming out like, what is this? What is this? And people started dancing. I was like, whoa, the effects of it. But I knew then it was such a big record. But number 1 is That's the Way Love Goes. And again, it's part of my 90s R&B history. Big not to be at number 1 for me. I love this track so much. Great memories. And I always say this, Gen Z, when they go back looking for 90s tracks, they're going to stumble across this. They don't seem to go back as far as 93, but when they do, they'll find this. And and what number did you have it at, Miss J? Number 7 or 8?
That's the Way Love Goes was 8.
Wow.
I had a number 2, so it was 8.
Was you again? I forget. We're at different ages here. You wouldn't have been clubbing back in 99. I don't know.
I wasn't clubbing. I couldn't club. No.
Maybe that's the difference, because I was out hearing these tracks at the time in clubs. So, but
yeah, I mean, I do remember. I mean, I remember when I was in the States when the video premiered on MTV. And it was like, wow, and then it was just dominating radio. And then we had the album, we had the album cover, the Rolling Stone stuff, and it was just like, wow, So yes, and they used MTV. They used MTV definitely in order to promote this album. So yeah, it was definitely. I think my number 1 edged it quite slightly. But anyway, Miss J, let's go from your 10 to 1.
10 to 1. 10 is Throb. 9. Oops Now. 8. That's the Way Love Goes. 7. If. 6. Because of Love. 5. You Want This. 4 is Again. 3, Where Are You Now? 2, The Body That Loves You. And number 1 had an amazing maxi single full of variations of the song, Anytime, Any Place. She was so beautiful in that video. And that inspired a photo shoot for me. That whole maxi single, she had like this outfit on and her back was facing the camera. So like she was turned sideways. Oh my God. Y'all know they call her Dunk for a reason. Janet had body yaddy. And that photo shoot for that particular album inspired a photo shoot of my own. So I love Anytime.
I knew you was going to pick that one. I knew.
Did you really?
Yes.
How did you know that?
I knew, like in the midweek, I pulled the album. I thought, I've got a place. Where's it going to go? And first it was a number 3, and I thought Miss J's got that number 1.
Well, both Mac and Melodic had it as well. Anytime, Any Place, and as number 1. So my number 10 is it's The Body That Loves You. Number 9 was Whoops Now. 8 was Again. You Want This as number 7. Because of Love is number 6. New Agenda at number 5. Funky Big Band at number 4. If at number 3. That's the Way Love Goes at number 2. And my number 1 track is now I know that Matthew's talking about Janet remix album is his favorite because R. Kelly's version is on there. I don't think, but for me, it was definitely my favorite track on the album. Now, the original one is great. Of course, the R. Kelly version is adds a little bit more funk and soul to it, but anytime, any place is just it was. I know when I like a song when I make a playlist and I just get songs from my playlist and I just keep them on a separate and I just have a set playlist of all-time favorite tracks. And if it made that, it just tells you. But it's the R. Kelly version that makes it. But the album version isn't too far off. But R. Kelly just adds some real good seasoning on it. But the vibe for it, you know, even though I have no idea what she's saying, I I have no idea what she's saying. I have no idea what she's saying. We don't have to stop. I can so the chorus I can pick up what she's saying, but the lyrics, the verses, I have no idea what she's saying. But I just smell it, and I think it's okay because you know she has that kind of melodic voice that just blends in. So you're just like no. So like, oh, that's a nice little vibe. But yeah, anytime, any place.
Anytime, any place.
Yeah. So anytime, any place, my number one. I am going to read. I asked ChatGPT, and ChatGPT said, "Look, man, it is subjective, but here's a list based on a mixed critical acclaim, fan favorite charts. You want this at number 10?" And this is ChatGPT.
Oh dear.
Because of Love at number 9.
Oh dear.
Throb at number 8. This Time is the worst song on the album. This Time is at number 7. The Body That Loves You at number 6. Anytime, Any Place at number 5. Again at number 4. If at number 3. That's the Way Love Goes at number 2. And it says number 1. It says, "While That's the Way Love Goes" gets this. It's a strange one. It says both "That's the Way Love Goes" and "Anytime, Any Place" ties at number 1. So I don't know how it can rank them together like that. But anyway, it's subjective. But very soon, ChatGPT, ChatGPT might get better at this. But anyway, Marco. Marco has very different standards. Saying the album cover was the best thing about the album.
Whoa.
That's a bit harsh. Marco.
Oh wow.
I think Marco was the guy on the last podcast that said, "Don't be cruel, he's overrated." Oh well.
Yeah, but it's I mean, yeah, just go ahead.
That's the great thing about opinions, folks. We've all, great to hear different opinions.
Yeah, and as I said, it's definitely one of the things where about each time you listen to an album, you get a very different feel for it. But it's if you listen to it today, as opposed to trying to remember what it was like when you listened to it back when it was released, it's quite different. And I do believe that I do have my thoughts, my tastes have changed to this album, and I actually appreciate it now. But I hadn't listened to it, as I said, in over 20 years, and that one of the things I like about these shows that we do, it then puts me back to spend a week listening to a track. So I'll listen to it 2 or 3 times, then I'll come and start to rate it the day before and even on the day, because I've only listened to it 3 times, and I think today, with my ears today, how do I rate this album? So I don't. And some songs will have some sentimental value, and then some songs will move around.
What were the 4 tracks that you left out of your top 10?
Yeah, that's a good question, Stevie. So number 11 was Throb, so it was close. Number 12 was What I Do. It was, it has Jelly Bean Johnson on this. But I thought that what I do, I think because I was comparing it to, as I mentioned, Cheryl Crow and the others, I just felt like it could, if it could have been a little bit better if you're trying to do something. Number 13 was Where Are You Now? Somehow I just didn't, the song didn't really speak to me. And then the song that I put at number 14 was This Time. I didn't like the sort of rock edgy part of it. I thought it was my least favorite on the album. So those are the four that I left out. Yes. What about you, Miss J? What are the four tracks that you didn't put in your top 10?
14 I had This Time.
Okay.
Listening back to that though, I heard I could see the inspiration of one of those Destiny's Child songs, Survivor. It was some elements of this song that was listening to it. I'm like, oh, this reminds me.
Yeah.
Of,
No,
I know
no, no,
Steve
no, no,
first.
no, no. Yeah. I can. Yeah.
And then Funky Big Band was 13. Although I like that song, but and then New Agenda was better than Funky Big Band to me. But then I do love What I'll Do. Because it reminds me of I Can't Get No Satisfaction from the Rolling Stones. But
Can't get no.
Yeah, and I like that song.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
I like her better than Sheryl Crow, backstabbing Sheryl Crow.
So
Wow.
Melodic left out again, New Agenda this time, and Whoops Now. Yeah, I think it's a lot of people, not many people like This Time. But Stevie, what are the four that you left out?
14 was again the Candlelight. Number 13 was What I'll Do. Number 12, Throb. Again, I just didn't listen to it at the time. And number 11, apart from that abrasive start, is This Time.
We all like
a bit of advice for you guys out there, because I always like to, tip you guys off about the ladies. Don't always take what a lady says literally. Don't always take it too much. Pay attention to what she does. That's the most important thing. Women say a lot of things, but it's actually what they do that you should be paying attention to. That's all I've got to say on that tip.
And complaints are sent to Stevie at musiclover.com. Yes. Marco asks, which was your favorite, which is of best Janet Jackson album? I'll start with you, Stevie. Out of all her this catalog, which was your favorite Janet album?
Oh, Rhythm Nation.
Okay. That was great.
Probably the concert tour that I went to, seeing it live, running out to buy the album, buying all the singles, it was the new Jack era, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But Control's got some great stuff on it. I'll be honest, the album after this, which I'm sure we'll get to review at some point,
yeah,
I didn't listen to that much apart from the singles. I need to investigate that more, because I know there's a lot of gems on there.
I think, because strangely enough, I can't remember Velvet Rope as much, but I do remember the song with Blackstreet, Get Lonely, and Go Deep, because Teddy did 2 remixes.
Yeah, the singles, like say, you remember the set. I don't know anything else from it, really.
I don't think I can remember anything. Which is the one that she had once again? No, not once again. The one with Q-Tip. Oh no.
Yeah, that's the one, the Velvet Rope album.
Velvet Rope.
Oh, that's Velvet Rope. Okay. Yeah. Somehow I just don't know. I don't think I got the album. So I need to go back and listen to it. Yeah. Okay, Brooklyn. Yeah. I need to go.
You don't have this? Neither one of you have Velvet Rope?
Yeah, I've got it, but I've not played it much. But we will review at some point. Sure.
Yeah, we definitely will. Miss J, what was your favorite?
I've never thought of that until now. So it's right now I'm gonna say Rhythm Nation. Because I don't really have a favorite, but I think it might be this one, because so many good ones on here that I could listen to.
Yeah, I think
you didn't get the album at the time. I just ran to the record store to buy that album.
Which one?
Rhythm Nation.
Oh,
you didn't even get a copy of it.
No, not at the time. I got it later on as a back for my catalog. But I as I said, I do remember watching the Ribbon Nation video and not understanding what she was talking about because I was not in the US at that time.
Mm.
And I just felt it was just gloomy. You know, I wanted to, I was like, what's all this gloom and doom going on? It was black and white, but I loved All Right and some of the other happy, but it was just, so when I think of Ribbon Nation, I always remember the video, and the video just felt dark.
She told
Now,
you what she was talking about. Bigotry. No. She was
yeah. But as you've got to understand, if you're not in the US at the time, even if you're in the US, it's, you know, culturally it just didn't resonate. Not that it was not important, I just couldn't identify with it. So hence, it became hard to understand. Now it's different than Michael Jackson's "They Don't Care About Us." I mean, it's, you know, it's, or that felt like a more of a, you can understand, like, you know, if that kind of resonated. But for me, my favorite is Control. I think it's just yeah, I think it's hardly anything wrong. We did the Control album a while back, but that's definitely my favorite. And Marco is somewhat right when Marco says that Velvet Rope, they did a lot of remixes that really that made a difference. Because I think somehow, I don't know if they got the balance of that album right, but we'll get onto it another day. Matthew was saying, Stevie, so basically we should focus more on Janet's dance moves than the lyrics. Oh, goodness. Okay, guys. So Stevie and Miss J and I are going to have a powwow to discuss our next album, and then we'll come back with some dates. But also, Stevie is going to a mega concert. Do you want to remind us where you're going and what you're going to be experiencing at the end of the month?
Let me just get the flyer up. I think it's the 28th. Is it is Saturday on the 28th of June? It's the Rock the Bells Festival. Rock the Bells Festival, Saturday 28th of June, and it's the Uptown Records celebration featuring CL Smooth, Father MC, Albie Shaw, Christopher Williams, Soul for Real, Jeff Red, Donnell Jones, Horace Brown, Manifa, Intro. And if that's not enough, you get Eric B and Rakim. If that's not enough, you get Redman. If that's not enough, you get Busta Rhymes, Big Daddy Kane. Wow, Too Short, Scarface, KRS-One. Yeah, so I'll be in Manhattan. That's actually in Newark, New Jersey, but I will be in Manhattan from the Wednesday. So I'll be hanging around for about 3 days before in Manhattan. So if there's anybody around in Manhattan, give me a shout. I intend to do a bit of sightseeing around New York and that before the actual Saturday. So I'm going to do a bit of sightseeing. So yeah, should be exciting.
Yes, definitely. I mean,
hopefully you and Miss J can hold down a podcast on that Saturday night. Maybe we could, me, VJ, and Knight, we could actually, if you're doing the podcast live, maybe we could drop in live and let you know how things are going. I don't know how that would work out, but maybe we could try it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll definitely think about time difference and stuff like that. Yes, we'll definitely, but that's going to be a big show, and definitely, it's is the Dark Chat. Yes, it's 5 each, Mac, 5 each, and that's next week. But yes, we will. Yes, but the three of us will be back the first week. Well, in July after Stevie gets back, and then I'm sure Miss J and I will also think about what we're going to be doing.
Have we got enough planned for next Saturday?
I don't think so. Yes.
21st.
Hope to see Miss Janet live one day. Okay, yes. Stevie, you didn't get to see Janet when she came to Manchester. Was it the ticket prices, or you thought you've seen her at her peak and you didn't want to?
It's just so hard to get me to leave the house these days. Apart from work. and go to the studio. It's very hard. I've reached that age where I'm a homebody. You know, so if it's a dark night and it's raining hard outside, Janet Jackson concert on, I'm like, oh, I seen it back in 1990, and it's not be as good as that, is it? Really, it was, and I'm sorry I didn't go now. But I'm flying 6,000 miles in a few weeks.
Yeah, it's in New Jersey.
My comfort zone at my age now, flying 6,000 miles. To go to the Big Apple, so yeah, I'll be seriously getting out of my comfort zone.
So Stevie's going to be staying in Manhattan, but the show is actually in New Jersey. What's the stadium or what's the venue?
The Prudential Center.
The Prudential Center. I think that's where the. I thought that's where the New York. Let me see. Prudential. I remember that. That's where Anita Baker had her.
I've no idea. Probably, yeah. I think I've seen a few bits online.
Yeah, I think Newark. I think that's what who played there. I can't remember who.
Anyway, we should let the viewers go. We've held them up. It's 11 o'clock this evening. We need to discuss our next album. If anyone got any album suggestions, drop them in the comments now before we go. If you want to see an album reviewed, maybe we could do it because we're about to discuss it. Possibly next week. You never know. Next Saturday, we'll see. We can fit it in next Saturday.
Yes. When do you fly out, Stevie?
A week on Wednesday.
A week on Wednesday. Okay. So yes. So we will look to see that. Just before I leave, and I just seen Brooklyn Lovers saying, probably missed that particular episode. Probably one of our most popular ones since. We did do an episode. Around Teddy Riley, and this little Brooklyn put out there. We needed another chat. Who's the best producer songwriter? So we did do something similar to that, and that was. I've just sent the link to that. That was fun. All right, so guys, yes, congratulations to Rodney Jerkins, Songwriters Hall of Fame, and he got his mentor Teddy Riley to give the induction speech. Next week, we're doing the Timbaland, Neptunes, and Darkchild top battle. And so Rodney has told me some tracks that he thinks should be added to that top 5 list. Okay, whatever. What happened?
Marco Crawford said Joe Thomas, and that's exactly what I was thinking. So I was happy to see Joe's name come up. You know I love Joe.
Okay. So, well, we'll chat off here. But anyway, guys, thanks as always. You guys make the show by contributing. Everyone who's been on here, Dio, Timmy, Music Tips, Hopeful, Marco, Melodic, M. Mac, Timmy Lee. I'm just going over just the few names I'm seeing right now, but everyone that's contributed throughout the evening.
Yes.
We definitely appreciate you. Yeah, definitely. Thanks for
spending your Saturday night with us.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and Matthew as well. H-Town. The love so many. But that's the good thing is that we are going to come through all these ones. But anyway, we will see you guys. Real soon. And as I said, thanks for being with us, and we'll catch you next time.
That's the way love goes, folks.
Goodbye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between us, or even loving us, on which I didn't miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No, okay.
They don't understand what Jonas' voice meant.
Lay it.